Also, I'm trying boxed water.
I've heard it's not good.
It tastes like water.
Can you taste the box?
No, not really. But I think Jaden Smith made this.
Oh.
Yeah, so
No, he didn't make boxed water.
I think he did.
He may have made a boxed water, but he didn't invent boxed water.
I think this water, just water, I think he made that.
He's really thinking inside of the box. Or
Wow.
should I say
I like that.
inside the box.
Had the water box. I
What?
got the watermelon seltzer. God damn it.
You have a watermelon seltzer?
Yeah, I don't like watermelon. But since we're talking about things we have, I have these ghost pepper chips. They're extremely hot, and
No, they have those at Get-Go. They're not fun. They make you sneeze.
Yeah, I think Papa Norman would sneeze on these.
Oh yeah, if
no.
there's any kind of spice at all, Papa Norman is sneezing.
Do you have like a red light on your face?
Yeah. So this mirror is reflecting my red light. I got
Oh,
light in the background. It looks a little too like Star Warsy for me, but yeah, apparently my background is too plain. Says
that's
I
almost
committed
Star
sin.
Wars. But now that we're in it, welcome to the second inaugural episode of the Bro Football. Jesus Christ, I can't even say the name of the podcast. The Bro Football Focus Podcast. If you're a returning viewer, hope you liked the first episode. I think last time we checked, what was the number at, Jake? 49?
It was at 48, and if we go based off of my projections, that is 48 times better.
Yeah.
But if we technically go off of your projections, which was 0, it was 0 times better. So it all depends on how you look at it between you and me. But either way better than we thought.
Yeah, much better. I'm not a math guy. That's why we have you here, and I'm glad you could do that for us. But at the top of this podcast, I'm going to set a precedent with a segment that I think I want to do at the beginning of every podcast. We're going to call it the Hot 32. And with the Hot 32, we're going to run down the hottest info for each NFL team. And at the end of the list, we're going to pick 3 of them, not from our favorite team, because we don't want to play favorites. Don't want to be biased. And we're going to dive deeper into that. So maybe we can get like some Hot 32 music when I do it. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Like,
Yeah.
Hot 32. We'll figure it out. Either way, kick it off with the Hot 32. 1, Arizona. Isaiah Simmons will start at outside linebacker. The team will look to trade Hassan Reddick after declining his 5th-year option. 2, Atlanta. The Falcons declined Takars McKinley's 5th-year option. 3, Baltimore. Antonio Brown was spotted working out with his cousin, Marquise Hollywood Brown. 4, Buffalo. Brandon Beane drafted wide receivers in the 4th and 6th round because Sean McDermott called the wide receiver group Smurfs. 5, Carolina. The Cardinals are trying to trade Hassan Reddick to the Panthers for a reunion with college coach Matt Rule. 6, Cincinnati. Some notable veterans could be cut to save cap space. 7, Chicago. The Bears have reportedly soured on 2nd-round tight end Adam Shaheen. 8, Cleveland. Odell Beckham Jr. is still subject to trade rumors despite front office deflecting. 9, Dallas. Chidobe Awuzie may move to safety this offseason. 10, Denver. Tight end Albert Okwuegbunam is already familiar with Drew Lock. 11, Detroit. Bob Quinn says drafting Tua to hold him hostage would have been easier said than done. 12, Green Bay. Brett Favre tells Rich Eisen he expects Aaron Rodgers to finish his career outside of Lambeau Field. 13, Houston. The Texans could trade or cut Kenny Stills if he doesn't take a pay cut. Indianapolis. Marlon Mack, potential trade bait. 14, Kansas City. Cornerback Rashad Breeland was arrested on Tuesday on 5 charges, including drug possession. 16 is the LA Chargers. Hunter Henry says him and the team are getting close to an extension. 17, the Los Angeles Rams say Josh Reynolds will replace Brandon Cooks in the starting lineup. 18, Jacksonville. Former linebacker Telvin Smith was arrested today for unlawful sexual activity with minors. 19, Miami. An extension has not been discussed for newly acquired running back Matt Breida. 20, Minnesota. New deal for Dalvin Cook is in the works. 21's New England. Devin McCourty excited to show new safety Kyle Duggar the ropes. 22, New Orleans. They signed Jameis Winston to a $1.1 million deal, but it could reach $4.7 million with incentives. 23, the New York Giants scout Steve Verderosa will not return in 2020. He had been there since 1988. 24, the New York Jets, Adam Gase believes tight end Chris Herndon is a post-hype sleeper. 25, the Las Vegas Raiders. Gruden states that he believes
Arnett. That's the cornerback they drafted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did one of you guys put this in here?
Oh yeah, I put it in there. You had Oakland, and you didn't have a.
It threw off the mojo. I saw it. I knew I didn't write it. I didn't want to read like any swears or racial slurs. So here we go. Gruden stated that he believes Arnett is better than Okudah and that he reminds me a lot. I'm not going to guarantee this, but reminds me a lot of Aqib Talib. 26, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders is entrenched as the RB1. 27, San Francisco. After signing Trent Williams, Mike McGlinchey will stay on the right side, and he's okay with it. 28, Seattle. Defensive tackle Jerron Reed is back in number 90 after selling it to Jadeveon Clowney last year. 29 is Pittsburgh. The front office is still confident in Mason Rudolph after a poopy season. 30 is Tampa Bay. They pick up O.J. Howard's fifth-year option. 31 is Tennessee. The Titans could be a landing spot for Jadeveon Clowney. And finally, rounding out the Hot 32, as always, will be Washington. And the Skins had a chance to get a first for Trent Williams last year before the trade deadline. So just after doing that, bless you, Jake, after doing that the first time, maybe we alternate, like I read one, then you read one, then we figure that out. We'll figure it out. But so who did we decide is choosing first?
Austin can. This can be awesome day.
So Austin, besides the Bills, what do you want to talk about?
I mean, one that I was reading about earlier today, and I thought was pretty crazy, was the Brashad Breeland thing, where he got arrested earlier.
Yeah.
He was driving around. I think he had an open bottle of liquor. He had open beer. He had wine. He had hash, and he had marijuanas with him.
Hashish?
Oh, yeah. He had hashish. And he's driving around without a license. So I'm wondering, what is Brashad Breeland getting into on a Wednesday during the coronavirus epidemic?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Everybody's trapped inside. He's probably going a little stir crazy. I'm sure he knows some buddies who are into some stuff, and they're like, "Hey, Brashad, want to help us with some runs? We know you're not doing anything right now."
Now, do you think this is something the league can just sweep under the rug and chalk up as a, coronavirus type thing? Everyone's bored. Everyone's going crazy.
Absolutely. If you can sweep Zay Jones, like getting high on bath salts and like slitting his wrists and painting hotel wall rooms with his blood under the rug, I think you can sweep this under the rug.
You didn't know about that, did you, Jake?
No, I didn't. Did not.
But was that last year or 2 years ago?
Oh, that was I think that was last year before the season started, because he was still on the Bills, and then we traded him halfway through the season. I was surprised he was playing. He didn't even get suspended one game.
I think it's funny because he's like in a lot of – what team's he on now?
He was on the Raiders. I don't know if he's still on their team.
I saw a tweet or something the other day where he was like in a kid's hotel room who had cancer, and he was showing him how he does like the thing where he's like here and it looks like he levitates up. But I was like, wow.
That's real.
That guy like got super high off of crazy stuff and slit his wrist and painted a hotel wall with his blood, and now he's just hanging out with kids and stuff.
Now, you think that these two situations would be in reverse? Like, what's the crime that's going on during Corona? It's like, oh, people are going so crazy, they're slitting their wrists in hotels and just painting the walls with blood because of the times we're in. But, I mean, this whole year is whack. Everything. Like, I don't see anything normal happening. If they try to make up seasons for any sport, like it's all going to be fucked. So there's going to be an asterisk for every sport, everything that happened this year, no matter what it is, there will be an asterisk. So like, you really to find somebody or like to suspend, like just let the boys play, you know.
Let them play. Let them do drugs. Let them be
Exactly.
crazy. Just 1 year, no rules.
He wasn't. Brashad Breeland wasn't hurting anybody, so hey, whatever.
Exactly. No one
Driving
was
around without a license.
it, you know.
All right. So, Jake, am I next or are you next?
I'll go next.
Okay. What do you want to talk about?
So I think the Steelers saying that they're confident in Mason Rudolph
Okay.
just doesn't really seem educated at all. Like, he just statistically was bad. Doesn't seem like a real locker room dude. Plus, you got Big Ben coming back. Like, if they're like gonna try and be like, "Oh yeah, Mason, you can start," like,
No. They in no way want him to start. Big Ben's the starter, but they're just saying like, hey, even though Mason did pretty shitty, like we're pretty
I don't think
confident
he's
he's
even a
still good.
likable person.
He's not.
Like,
No.
just, I was trying to think of an analogy earlier. Like, man, like who is somebody that I know that just seems like his personality? And I don't know anybody because I just don't talk to the people that just seem like that dude. And just the whole, I never even interact with them. So it's just like, just cut them. Like, you're wasting
The type of guy that you want to just take your helmet and just smack him in the head with it.
Exactly.
Yeah, if he calls the
That
end.
hypothetical situation is
Hypothetically.
yeah, for sure. No, actually, I had just saw that Myles Garrett did an interview like 2 months ago talking about, it might have been like 3, I don't know what month it is, but he finally comes out and like talks about it, and he says, you know, the interviewer, she's being real intense with him. And so he says, you know, he's like, oh, you know, I was just going out making the play. And then he said some words, and she's like, what words? He's like, well, I'm not going to say it. He's like, I don't even say that word. Like, he just said, you know, you stupid, you know. And he's like, I'm not going to say it. I don't think anybody should say it. My friend shouldn't say it. And, you know, that's just not the kind of guy I am. And so when he said that, and then I brushed it off. I let it go. And then he just came back at me, and he just reignited it. So, you know, things happened. And, yeah, I mean, I just think, I mean, maybe he is a seriously devout Christian good dude, and he just, I would never say anything like that. Not even my friend. When my friends say it around me, I say, hey, Buster, you don't say that.
I believe Mason Rudolph said, that's Bush League. to
When he said that,
okay.
he was like, no, I said that was Bush League. I'm like, that to me honestly deserves it even more. It's like, are you serious? Like,
Bush League play.
Mason Rudolph is just your classic privileged white dude who follows, what's that girl's name on Twitter? Like Tony Loren or something?
Barely use the Twitter.
Oh yeah, Tommy Lauren.
Yeah, whoever that is. They're like
former Fox News contributor.
Yeah, they're like best bros or something, but I don't know.
That makes sense.
I'm not a big Steelers guy, so I'm not a big Mason Rudolph guy. Seems like kind of a scummer, but
yeah.
Like Myles Garrett likes dinosaurs. He wouldn't hurt a fly.
Yeah.
Astronomy and dinosaurs, and he has sweet glasses.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think the bro football focused stance on that is probably Myles Garrett, good. Mason Rudolph, stinker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Lock it in.
We're a pro Myles Garrett podcast. So, Myles Garrett, if you're watching this and you want to come on, just
you can tell us out of the story.
Just give us your email. Like, we're down.
Unprecedented, no narrative. You set the narrative, Myles. Come on, we'll welcome you with open arms.
We might be one of the 48 people that watched the first one. Everybody has time on their hands. He's like, fuck it.
I'm going to say that's highly improbable, but I hope that that's the case. But for mine, I like the Seahawks story about Jarran Reed back in 90 after he sold it to Clowney last year. So Jarran Reed is like making out in this scenario because last year, big bad Jadeveon Clowney comes into town, and he's like, hey, guys, I only wear 90. Who's got 90? I need to buy it from you. Rumor has it he paid like a pretty penny for it. So Jarron Reed's like, whatever, just a number. I'll take your money. Takes it. And then he doesn't get signed back, and he just gets to be 90 again. That's a double win for Jarron Reed. He gets the money and the number back.
That's the ultimate finesse.
Yeah, but I think the question here is, if Jarron Reed is back in 90, does that mean Seattle is done chasing Clowney? Is he out of the race?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they don't have enough cap room. They just released DJ Fluker.
No.
And the Ravens picked him up, so that they're like hurting real bad on cap room. Maybe they released him in order to be more competitive in signing Clowney, but yeah, I don't really see him going back there.
I don't know. I like Clowney. I think if they had the money to do it, he would help any football team be better.
Oh yeah.
Once he learned how to actually play football and not just hit people really hard because he was bigger and faster and stronger, it's pretty good.
It helps to be bigger and faster, stronger.
Yeah. But that was the Hot 32. If you're watching and you're an active viewer, comment. Let us know what you think about it. You want that segment to stay? You want it to go? It's going to stay around for a little bit either way. But for now, let us know what you think.
Let us know down in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Share us on Instagram.
Or Facebook to your grandma. But now, do you guys want to jump into comparing our mock to what actually happened?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I think just initially, we knew it was going to be pretty bad.
Yeah, we knew within, I'd say, the second pick that
yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as I gave my first pick, it just went down the shitter.
Yeah, and Bro Football Focus, we have tiered football knowledge, I guess, on the show. And that's the point of the show. We're trying to bring multiple groups together, get multiple viewpoints, multiple opinions. Jake just happens to be on the lower end of that football knowledge spectrum, but that's okay. That's why
I'm getting the beginners into it.
Yeah.
They they turn on ESPN and they're like, oh.
Can't even follow along.
Exactly. So then they come in here and they're like, oh shit, that guy is equally as not smart as me.
This is the podcast for me.
So yeah. And I will say we did turn trades off on our draft. So that kind of threw everything off too.
Yeah, well.
Yes and no, but either way.
I might have picked different. I'm just saying.
So pick one. We nailed that. Well, Austin, did you have that pick?
Oh, yeah, I had that pick.
Okay, so you nail it with the Joe Burrow. That's a given. We all knew. We knew that after the season ended. Pick two is where it got a little crazy. It was Chase Young in the real draft. Jake said it was going to be Tua, which not super crazy because Dwayne Haskins isn't good and they could use a quarterback. But everybody in the football world, I feel like, knew that this one was going to be Chase Young.
It was pretty much in the books for a couple weeks at this point. Chase Young.
I think top 5 of their picks, I could have been right.
What?
Like if they had to pick the next 5 players they would pick, I think Tua might have been in that 5.
Oh, Tua was on their board, certainly. He was definitely on their board.
I think this was probably just 1 or 2 spots higher.
I'll give myself a C on that one.
That's totally fine. But when we get to the number 5 pick, that's not going to be a
C. Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, so, I mean, after the draft explodes for us at 2, it's really kind of crazy. I think the only other hits we got were Mekhi Becton, and that was Austin again. Right? Or was that Jake?
No, I think that was Jake. Because I was
I was 2, 5, and 8. And then so on from there.
All right, so Jake nails Mekhi Becton. It's good for him.
Nice.
I don't think I got any right.
Yeah, you fucking imbecile.
Yeah, that was super dumb of you, Hunter, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, better luck next year, I guess.
I will say that it seems like if you take the order of the real draft and how they played out, that is the order that we had, just with a few other guys in between. So the top guys still were in that order, you know? So we're not doing so bad. I'm giving us right now, I'm trying to pull us up to a D+. And I'm looking for some more reasons that we did pretty good.
I mean, to argue with you there, Jake, with your second pick, the number 5 overall pick, you took Xavier McKinney, who did he even go in the first round?
No.
No, he didn't. Yeah, he wasn't even on the board.
So if you take the outliers out, like just a few of them, like maybe every third, we'll say, just random. That's random.
Oh yeah. One every year or so.
Yeah, no, to be honest, if we took every third one out starting with the second pick, it would probably be a pretty solid mock draft. But this is the Bro Football Focus mock draft. No one said it was going to be solid. Yeah. So the Alton Robinson pick really blew me away too, because I don't think that guy went until the second or third round.
Yeah.
Maybe less.
I didn't even know who he was at the time, but it
Me
turns
neither.
out he's a
Yeah,
pretty
me
cool
neither.
player.
Yeah. Jordan Elliott, Jags at 20. Didn't know who that was either.
Yeah, that was a shocker.
But yeah. Also the last one, but we all know that one was just for funsies.
That was just a funsy pick.
We were one off with Ruggs. We had him going at 13. He went at 12.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you're right. I mean, that one's on me, though, because if I'm remembering correctly, I think I had the Raiders pick, so I could have nailed it.
Yeah. I mean, you should have foreseen that the Raiders would take the fastest wide receiver.
Yeah, I didn't realize that the spirit of Al Davis was coming back this year.
Oh, yeah. Big Al's always looking down on him.
Yeah. So what do you guys think our mock versus the real draft? What do you think our biggest hits were? Or I guess not hits, because we only had 2. But what were we closest to? What were we farthest away from?
I mean,
Farthest away, pretty much all my picks, especially my last one.
Yeah, but that one was just for funsies, so
Yeah, that was just for giggles.
not even going to count that.
number 28, we had Kenneth Murray going to the Ravens, so we knew they wanted a linebacker there. They took Patrick Queen
Yeah.
because Kenneth Murray was gone at that point in the real draft.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Same thing with the 25 from the 49ers. I don't know, that was a trade.
I had the
Either
Browns
way.
taking Tristan Wirfs, offensive tackle. They actually went with Jedrick Wills, so it's kind of just more of whose flavor you're going for.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They were in the ballpark for an offensive tackle. But yeah,
Broncos, same way. We knew they wanted a receiver. They got one.
49ers wide receiver. We had taken LaVisca Chenault Juniors.
I think that's a huge miss on us, though, because, I mean, even though we got the position, like,
We gotta think
was still
we had
available on our board.
that was a trade though. They traded for the Packers, so we had the Packers taken. Those two are flipped.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, either way, though, in our mock, Ayuk and Chenault would have been on the board at the same time. But,
Yeah.
you know, with the Packers, Jordan Love, I don't think anybody predicts that.
Yeah, that was pretty astonishing.
Well, especially now they want Aaron Rodgers out of there.
That's
What's going on with that?
Well, I don't think they want Aaron Rodgers out of there.
Aaron Rodgers is on.
Like Brett Favre.
They just signed him to a new contract not too long ago, and he's still on there for another 4 years. And I think he's one of the highest paid quarterbacks during that time. So Aaron Rodgers is the same age that Brett Favre was when the Packers drafted
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers.
yeah,
So they'll probably let Jordan Love sit for a couple years
and just learn.
and let him rip whenever the time
Yeah,
comes.
yeah. I think that's kind of what the Patriots did with a lot because they drafted a lot of defensive guys. So I think they're just trying to, they weren't reaching for any starters or anything like that, like really going out of their way. So I think they're just trying to get some good, like solid secondary guys and just like, hey, get in the fucking summer camps, just start learning. We'll toss you in if we get ahead, and then just kind of go from there and just like try to build solidarity. So it's not like they lose. Because that's kind of the scenario they're in right now with Tom. Like they're like, fuck, because Jimmy Garoppolo left last year, and he was a solid backup two seasons ago at this point. But he's a solid backup. Obviously, when like the whole Deflategate shit happened, he did really well, and then he left, so they didn't have a solid backup. And then Tom Brady left, so now they're like, fuck, now we have to bite a year. So I think they're just trying to get their second and like third guys in the positions solid, learn them up, get them in the system early, so it's not like, oh, this dude left, like we're fucked now, like kind of in a situation like, because they are definitely set back. That's a fact without having Tom and no backup. So, but
Yeah, I mean, when you go from like arguably the best quarterback in the league to Brian Hoyer or whoever it is.
yeah,
It'll be Jared Stidham.
Oh, Mr. Stidhams.
Bill Belichick referred to him as Stid the other day. So
If he has a nickname, that means he's probably popping off.
that's what all the big sports talk pundits are saying. If Bill Belichick has a nickname for you, you're probably going places.
They're all buddy-buddy. They hang out on the 6 rings together.
Oh, yeah.
But how do you guys feel your respective teams did?
Yeah, Austin, you want to talk about how you think the Bills did?
We're breaking down the drafts?
Yeah.
I mean, Jake transitioned smoothly into that.
All right, well, the Bills, with their first-round pick, they didn't really have one. They traded it to the Vikings for Stephon Diggs. So I was super happy about that. I really like Stephon Diggs. I think he's probably a top 10 receiver. And at the point that the Bills were picking 22nd, Ruggs, Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, and Rager were all selected before then. And the Vikings ended up taking Jefferson right there. So I'll take Diggs over Justin Jefferson any day. Just going off of, you already know Diggs is a really good talent, and you don't really know what you're getting through the draft.
Definitely.
All the top receivers were gone, so I was pretty happy with what they did with the first pick, trading it. But then in the second round, we got AJ Epineza, who I believe in our mock draft, we had him going in the first round to the Titans. In a lot of mock drafts, he was a first-round talent. And he played defensive end at the University of Iowa. And he's also a Samoan Hoss. And if there's two things that playing at Iowa and being Samoan represent, it's being a gosh darn Hoss in the trenches. And so he's, he's not a sexy pick, but he's a good player. He's going to go right in, and he's going to be a solid contributor. He slipped a little bit at the combine because he had a bad combine. He had a slow 40. He ran a 5.04 40-yard dash, and that's about what Calais Campbell ran. So I don't think that's too bad. He had one more bench press rep than Calais Campbell, 17 to 16.
How tall is he, though?
He's 6'5".
Calais Campbell's like 6'9".
He's 6'8". 6'8", 300 pounds. So I compare him to, like, athletically to Campbell and Armstead. Eric Armstead, he ran faster than Armstead, and they're about the same on everything too. But he's just a little smaller. I think you can play him at defensive end, or you could in like a pass rush package, you could put him inside a defensive tackle next to Ed Oliver. So I like the pick. He's pretty versatile. He's pretty good. Then in the third round, we took Zach Moss. Moss is a hoss. He's 5'9". He's 223, and he's just a load to tackle. He's just a small, shifty bruiser. And last year, Devin Singletary led the league in yards per carry with 5.4. But then whenever he got tired and we had Frank Gore come in, the offense just started to stink. And then if we didn't have Frank
Gore's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
If we didn't have Frank Gore, we'd put TJ Yeldon in. And
TJ Yeldon is slow.
The drives would just start dying, Hunter. So
I know, I've seen it.
I like having Moss in there to switch it up with Devin Singletary. Just two really short running backs running behind that line, hiding behind the hosses, sneaking forward for a few yards.
Listen, Austin, I remember a time in Jacksonville where I think the two top running backs were Justin Forsett and TJ Yeldon.
Oof.
And when Blake Bortles couldn't get anything going downfield, it was just either incompletion, sack, interception, or dump off to TJ. And then TJ would do this, like, not juke anybody out and get tackled like, behind the line.
Essentially to stop.
Yeah. It was terrible. TJ Yeldon sucks.
He's a good pass catcher, but, yeah, he doesn't have much upside.
If you look at, like, the Bama running back pedigree, like he's the only like
bottom
in that line. Yeah.
But yeah, so Zach Moss, I like him over TJ Yeldon, obviously.
Yeah,
absolutely. Gore's out of there. So, but I compare him athletically to Mark Ingram. They ran about the same 40, 4.65 for Moss, 4.62 for Ingram. They benched about the same. Moss is just a little heavier, so I like him. I feel like he'll be like a Mark Ingram type, or just like he'll pair well with Devin Singletary as like a bruiser. In the fourth round, we got Gabriel Davis, who's a wide receiver from UCF.
Are you guys gonna call him Gabe Dave?
Oof, I'm not real sure yet. I got to get to know the guy.
That rolls off the tongue really well.
Gabe Dave.
Yeah.
Big old GD out there catching passes.
Goddamn, Gabe Dave.
He's 6'2", so he's got a little bit of size to him. He's like more of a jump ball guy. He looks like he could use some more route running. So I feel like you're going to a wide receiver core that has Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley, and they're gonna take you to the route running school, and they're gonna teach you some routes.
The school of Smurfs.
Yeah, he's gonna go to the Smurf school, and he's gonna learn some routes.
Nice.
I think he's a solid pick. Then in the fifth round, they took Jake Fromm out of Georgia. Kind of surprised me. I thought there was some talent on the board, other positions. Brandon Beane likes to stick to BPA, dude, best player available. And, you got the Rona virus going around. If Josh Allen gets the Rona and goes down, we got big Jake Fromm to come right in. He was, a first-round grade a year or two ago. And, he doesn't have the best arm strength, but he's accurate, and he's a smart kid. He'll get the job done.
How do you feel
about who's going to love that pick is future guest Bull. He has been diehard Jake Fromm since he was a freshman in college.
I got to Bull on the cast.
Oh, he's going to be a future guest for sure.
Oh, nice.
Will be a guest, and I think also future guest Jackie Fettuccine with the long Italian weenie is a big Jake Fromm fan.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I've definitely heard him talking up some Jake Fromm back in the day.
And then
Swift's gonna be good, dude. You wait.
He's gonna be first overall, dude. He's gonna be big time. So
your future guest Myles Garrett might also like him. That's undecided.
Yeah. We'll have to ask him.
Definitely have to ask him.
Myles Garrett, he doesn't like backup quarterbacks at this point, but we'll see if he likes this guy.
He might have had a change of heart.
That'll be the title of that. Does Myles Garrett like Jake Fromm? Find out this week.
Exactly.
So then after that, the Bills took Tyler Bass, who is he's a little kicker, but he was one of the top ranked kickers, and I saw a video of him kicking 60-yard field goals with just one step. So I guess he's like a power specialist. So we'll see if he comes in and he competes with Steven House Money Hoshka, who missed a shit ton of field goals last year and is on the chopping block. But, after that, we got Isaiah Hodgins in the 6th round, who's a wide receiver, who he might be able to compete for a roster spot or special teams. And then we got Dane Jackson, who is a cornerback out of Pitt. And he might be able to make the roster. He's probably definitely a special teams guy. We got a lot of corners. We got a lot of cornerback 2 type guys who I think will be a little bit better than him. But we'll see. McDermott's good at coaching up cornerbacks. But yeah, overall, I like the draft. I'd give it like a B+.
What grade would you give the Patriots?
If you went based on like, did they get a shit ton of stars? Or did they get something like really? I would probably say like a C, but I don't think that was their intention. I think their intention, I'd probably give them like an A-. Because I still think they could do better, and I think everybody in the organization would want to always do better, no matter who they got, unless they had a first pick. But I think they did what they wanted to. Like, I don't think they're sitting at home losing sleep over it or anything.
All right, cool. So the Jags draft was all right. Wasn't super duper excited about it, but like after the draft and after I watched some more tape on the guys, I tricked myself into liking them. Round 1, pick 9, CJ Henderson. Totally fine with it. They needed a corner. I think he was the best one on the board after Okudah. I kind of like him because people in Jaguars media are kind of calling him like the anti-Jalen Ramsey, not having to do with any like talent or anything. Obviously, he's like nowhere near Jalen Ramsey's talent level or athleticism. But I guess he's just super reserved and like keeps to himself. And even in like interviews with him, he's just very quiet. So he's going to let the work do the talking. And that's kind of like a theme for this draft is the Jags just took like high character, goody two shoes guys because they're tired of all this rabble rousing that's been going on in the locker room. Even though I'm pretty sure most of it is because of the front office. What?
Yeah. I said it's a real changing of the guards over there in Jacksonville.
Yeah. I don't know. This is like the 3rd changing of the guard in the last 6 years or something. Yeah. But either way.
There's a lot of guards. There's a lot of dudes to cover.
Yeah, a lot of guards.
I do remember you saying that you liked CJ Henderson almost over Okudah at one point when we were doing our Madden drafts.
No. What I said was I think that it was like a Florida and Vernon Hargreaves, Jalen Ramsey situation, Jeff Okudah, and that we know how that worked out poorly. Vernon Hargreaves is like free agent right now somewhere.
We'll roll the clip and see exactly what Hunter says. Don't worry.
Oh no, he said that during our last podcast, but we were doing a Madden draft one time, and Hunter said that he thinks CJ Henderson could potentially be better than Jeff Okudah.
Well, that's Madden with fake rosters that some dude made. So
I just remembered, and now he's in Jacksonville.
You don't think the Reddit nerds are on that?
No, maybe. I hope so. I hope all of our shit that we say just gets logged. But round 1, pick 20, K'Lavon Chaisson, I like him. Even though he is a high character goody two shoes guy, liked his interviews, seems really smart. Favorite hot button quote he said was, when you're hiring someone from a job or for a job, are you going to hire the guy who speaks 1 language or speaks 3 languages? And he says he speaks 3 languages. He can rush the passer, can cover, and he can stop the run. Pretty cool. He was injured a lot in college, really turned it on at the end of this season. So I think he'll pan out into something good opposite of Josh Allen. So I'm excited for him. I think he's kind of like talent-wise Dante Fowler Jr., where he should have been drafted, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like you think Fowler was overhyped, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I can see that. Do you think he'll have issues against the run because he's smaller?
No. Now, I saw a knock on him that it showed like one clip. I think it was either Andrew Thomas or Tristan Wirfs, and they were just like bullying him, like just shoving him into the ground, pancaking him. but that was only like 3 plays, and for the rest of the game, he was getting pressure. And stopping the run is like one of the things he prides himself on, so I think he'll be fine at that. Get him in the weight room, get him a little stronger. I think he'll be fine. I think he's more of a technique guy than a just, power pass the guy.
Yeah.
But round 2, pick 42, Laviska Chenault. Wasn't super high on him coming into it, but after the Jags drafted him, obviously I did some more research. Like Laviska a lot. I think if he can stay on the field, he'll be good, but I think that's his biggest problem is he plays like extremely physically, and he'll probably get injured pretty quick. I also think he's faster.
Yeah, I think he's a lot faster than the combine. I think he was injured or he wasn't healthy at the combine.
I guess he's just like a super tough dude who just plays through injuries, like you said, ran at the combine like super hurt, so he was super slow.
That can bite you in the ass, though. That can bite you in the ass, though.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The best ability is availability.
Like, if you want to make that Skrilla.
If you're not on the field, I don't care how good you are. You're not on the field.
Yeah.
So hopefully he can, stay on it and be a good number 2 next to DJ Shark. Round 3, Devon Hamilton, defensive tackle out of Ohio State. I think this was kind of a reach. I like my defensive tackles to be more on like the cut side than the fat side, and they showed him like during the draft like the live look in with the family, and he just, I have man boobs. This dude had like some titties, so
nice.
Hopefully he can tone up a little bit in the NFL.
Hunter,
huh?
Is he what's he weighing in at? Is he a big enormous hoss?
I'll get the stats for you real quick. He is.
See, like I said in our last episode, it's good. You got to take up space.
You got to have space heaters.
I know you got to take up space, but this looks like the slow you down space, not
if you can fill air with meaty ass hoss.
Yeah,
that's good.
So he's 6'4", 310.
Okay,
I'm telling you, like, watch a video of him getting drafted and tell me that he's not soft looking. He's definitely not going to be in the bracket.
You tell me
massive titties and only be 310. Like, if you're that fat, I want you at least above 350.
You better have pecs if you're 300 pounds. You got to be Aaron Donald's 300 pounds almost.
Yeah, and Aaron Donald is like cut beyond belief.
Yeah,
animal.
He's a physical freak, though. But yeah, either way, so I don't have much info on him. I feel like they just needed a big body in the middle to stop the run, and I think he's just going to be there and do that. 116, Ben Barch. Everybody knows this guy is the guy from the Combine who drank the gross smoothie because he had to, like, get up weight or something. Nice. It's like grits, cottage cheese, and red Gatorade. Like, it's disgusting.
Scrambled eggs. I'm pretty sure peanut butter was in there.
Yeah. So think about this guy. He started out as a tight end. Then they made him a tackle, I think. And this is all at a D3 school. So best case scenario, this guy's Ali Marpet from Tampa, and he's, good O-lineman. Worst case scenario is he does not translate to the NFL, and he just gets bullied. And this is another guy who just looks like a softie. But those high character guys got to go soft sometimes. Josiah Scott, cornerback out of Michigan. I think they want him to compete in the slot and do special team stuff. I saw a highlight of him tackling someone really hard. That was cool.
It's always good.
So, hey.
Put CTE in there.
Yeah. Round 4, pick 140, Shaquille Quarterman, linebacker out of Miami. That's another guy who's just going to be like a special teams guy and a backup linebacker. Again, with him, he has a lot of cool highlights of him just like really smacking people, which is fun.
Nice. He's a crunchy backer.
Yeah. And then I'll run through these guys real quick because I honestly don't know anything about them. Daniel Thomas, safety out of Auburn. I have a cousin named Daniel Thomas, so that's kind of cool. Colin Johnson, wide receiver out of Texas. I think he's actually going to be our starting punt and kick return guy coming in, which is interesting.
I watched him play a lot this year. I'm pretty sure he's like 6'6". Like, he's a big jump ball guy.
Yeah.
I think he could be interesting.
Cool. I'm into him. It's either him or Chris Clay Brooks, who they're making the return guy. I don't know. But Jake Luton, quarterback out of Oregon State, I think this is just like you looked at a list of quarterbacks and you threw a dart and picked a guy. Yeah, because this dude, like, he's got a weird, like, hitch in his throwing motion. Very strange. Don't like Jake Luton one bit. Tyler Davis, Georgia Tech tight end, don't know who he is. And then Chris Claybrooks, cornerback out of Memphis, don't know who he is. Hope he pans out. But I think I'd give the Jags like a B- for their draft. I think how the cards were dealt to them, they did the best they could, besides like the Hamilton pick in round 3. I just think there was better talent. I really wanted to see a safety. I wanted Delpit really bad. I think they could have made that happen. But I think PFF actually said this. I think if the Jags were looking at this draft as like hey, we're going to draft Trevor next year and these guys could all develop into elite tier guys because of their athleticism, it was a good draft. But if they all don't develop, it's going to be a shitter. But hey, that happens. So these guys are all just
reward. It's like a high risk, high reward type draft.
Exactly. Like all the guys they drafted besides Henderson are like low floor, high ceiling guys.
Yeah.
So
who are you most excited about, Henderson?
Probably Laviska, to be honest with you. Because
good, dude. When you watch his highlights, he's sick.
Yeah, like if CJ can lock people down who aren't like DeAndre Hopkins, that's cool. Chason, if Yannick isn't there, who everything points to him not being, I think he'll be a good bookend to Josh Allen. I actually think coming into the NFL, Chason might be a better run defender than Yannick is right now.
Really?
Yeah. But Laviska is definitely what I'm most excited for because we haven't had like an interesting wide receiver to watch since Justin Blackmon.
Yeah.
DJ Chark's cool, but he just...
say you don't think DJ Chark?
I like DJ, but I feel like he just he's tall and has a good amount of speed, so it's hard to, when he just goes straight down the field and Nick Foles just tosses it up to him, hopes he catches it, then breaks his collarbone. I think he's just a fast, straight line kind of guy.
You don't think he's got any jump ball, any, red zone capabilities? I've seen him jump up there.
He just doesn't do it for me.
Wow.
I want X Factor capabilities.
He's definitely not an X Factor.
Mm-mm.
He's probably a star.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But yeah, so that's the Jags draft. Besides our teams, is there anybody else that you guys would like to highlight from the draft? Like any surprises, any shocks, any picks you love, any picks you hate?
I think probably one of the picks that surprised me the most, well, besides the Jordan Love pick, I'd say the Raiders taking Ruggs was pretty crazy. Like, I thought Judy and Lamb were better than Ruggs, but I think the Raiders are trying to beef up their speed and beef up their offense to compete with the Chiefs. I think, they're trying to match up. The Chiefs got Tyreek Hill, and they can just score one play. Like, even if they're down 28 points, they have these big plays. I think they're trying to get guys who can keep up and match that kind of. So I thought that was interesting. They'd take him over receivers that are rated so much higher than him.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the closest teams to Kansas City or closer ones are, at least from the West, is Denver. At this point, the Raiders, Cardinals. So they want to at least get some grip on like this whole portion of the country besides like Los Angeles, which is completely a different area of its own. But I think it will be cool to be able to see Jerry Jeudy play in this next season. Hopefully we have the prowess enough to maybe get a media pass to their spring training. I can get a fire interview from one of them maybe talk to Jared Judy. That'd be pretty sweet.
It'd be sweet.
That would definitely be a podcast exclusive. But my biggest surprise was the Jordan Love pick. I mean, it surprised everybody. But now that we've talked about it, and they want to just kind of put him in the position of like just learn for now. Like, I mean, that makes sense. But it's just kind of like, hey, like obviously, no matter who gets picked, it's the best day of your life when you get picked to go to the NFL. But it's like, hey, we want you, but you're gonna sit for a while. Like, get used to it.
Yeah, I mean, that division's really getting competitive. And the Broncos, man, their offense is going to be looking good next year, I think.
Yeah.
They got Judy. They picked up KJ Hamler in the put in the slot. He's super fast. They got Cortland Sutton, he was pretty good last year. So they got 3 legitimate receivers. They picked up Melvin Gordon in free agency, I'm pretty sure. And they still have
Philip Lindsay.
Yeah, Lindsay. He's super fast and good. And then did they pick up Drew Lock?
Yeah. So they had just made this post today, and it has all 3 of them and Drew Lock.
Yeah.
And I saw that, and I was like, they're looking pretty fucking tough right now.
Noah Fant, too.
Oh, yeah, Noah Fant. Yeah, that's going to be a super athletic offense. And if Drew Lock pans out, that'll be real nice.
Definitely. So that'll be cool to go to a few of those games this season.
Yeah. Not really a surprise, but Justin Herbert at 6 to the Chargers. I don't know what it is about Justin Herbert, but I just feel like he's not going to be very good in the NFL.
I think you're just a hater, Hunter.
I might be, but
everyone's going to be a star, and they're all going to do great, Hunter.
Yeah.
You're putting that energy out there, you're going to be the reason why they do
bad. Austin, what do you think about Christian Fulton falling so far?
I mean, I thought it was crazy. I thought it was crazy that the Raiders took, Arnett as high as they did.
Yeah.
So I guess it kind of was a pretty deep corner draft if you look at it. I mean,
it was, but did you see the stats and like the reason why they probably took Arnett?
Yeah, I mean Arnett, when you got a lockdown corner like Okudah on the one side, and it's just funneling all the throws towards you, and he held it down, man. He's pretty good. I think the Raiders, a lot of people, I guess, a lot of GMs were saying that he was kind of a sleeper on their board that they were going to maybe take at the end of the round 1. So I think Mike Mayock just jumped in there and took him. So I guess he probably has a lot more upside than a lot of these corners that went below him. So
yeah. Jordan Love pick, obviously crazy. Aaron Rodgers probably wasn't happy about that.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that he was actually on Pat McAfee's like draft show beforehand? Oh. And he was like asking him, he's like, hey, what do you think the Packers should do? And he's like, well, since I've been here for like 17 years, I don't think they've ever drafted a skill player in the first round, so that would be nice. And then they just draft his replacement.
Yeah. And then in the second round, they draft A.J. Dillon when they already have a super good running back.
Yeah, well, don't they have like a running back stable? Don't they have Aaron Jones and who else? Jamal Williams?
I can't remember who their backup is, but
Jamal Williams, I think.
It might have been Jamal. Oh, yeah, I think it was. And, yeah, I mean, Aaron Jones, he was getting it done. So I've heard theories that they're trying to go to, like, a more run-centric offense, kind of like the Titans were doing last year. And, I've also heard a lot of stuff going around saying that teams are taking quarterbacks and signing quarterbacks because of the coronavirus. Because, if your starter gets it and they have to sit out for like 2 or 3 weeks,
yeah,
then you'd be screwed. So if you think about it, like the Saints signed Jameis Winston when they already have Taysom Hill, they'd sign him to a big deal.
I think
Jake Fromm.
I think no matter what Sean Payton says, though, I think they'd rather have like an actual quarterback over Taysom Hill.
Yeah, I think he is just, blowing smoke up Taysom Hill's ass. just to keep him, just to keep him around.
Yeah, well,
Like
no,
this
because they
guy,
want Taysom because they can throw him in at like tight end, wide receiver, and all
yeah,
that jazz.
special teams. He's like a gunner. He just likes all the gadget stuff he can do with him.
He's a football player.
Well, yeah, buddy, you're gonna start when Drew goes. You're gonna start signs Jameis, signs Teddy Bridgewater.
Well, I just think it's crazy that Jameis signed for like 1.1 million. I think Deshaun Kaiser's making more than him next year.
Now, Hunter, if you don't have a job, do you take $1 million to move to New Orleans for a year?
Yeah.
Basically hold the clipboard for Drew Brees while you party all the time?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
James Winston got in trouble for stealing crab legs back in the day. I'm sure New Orleans has some tasty crab legs.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, God, I just need him. I need him.
We definitely have something.
Think about it. If he can hang out there and Drew Brees goes down and he's got Sean Payton coaching him up, telling him, hey, those guys are cornerbacks. You can't be throwing to cornerbacks. They're on defense.
Well, no. Listen, nobody's seen the guy throw after he got his eyes fixed.
That's what I'm saying, Hunter. He
We
comes.
don't know yet.
That's true.
He could throw for 6,000 yards. He threw for 5,000 last season.
And he's blind.
He was blind.
Yeah. He might
hasn't
not have
been able
won
to-
contacts. Like he might have just went, hey, I know where the play kind of goes. I'll rip it.
Jake, he came out and said that he doesn't wear contacts because he can't touch
there
his
you have
eyeballs.
it.
So he never
There
had
you go.
glasses, never had contacts, and you could see him ever since college. He would always be like staring at the scoreboard like Special Greg back in the day.
Jake, if you look up a picture of Jameis Winston and you type in Jameis Winston eyes, like it will just be a bunch of pictures of him like squinting. Even when he throws it, like his eyes are either closed or squinted.
This is him in
Let's see.
college, Jake.
Yeah, we'll put the graphic up. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
This is him.
It actually like these pictures looks like somebody just had like a very poisonous shark right by him, and he's like, oh.
Yeah, but you know,
now
now
he
he
has
fixed
this,
eyes.
so he should be able to get out there and get it done.
Definitely.
Do you think Kelvin Benjamin could get some sort of surgery that would make him a good football player?
Maybe liposuction and steroids. I don't see Calvin Benjamin.
Genetic mutation, just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so real quick, last thing in the draft that I want to talk about is running back went in the first round, pick 32, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. How do you feel about that, Austin?
I mean, I watched a lot of LSU this year, and I thought he was super underrated. Like the most valuable thing about him is he's got really good hands and he's a good route runner out of the backfield. So I think, Patrick Mahomes will find him in the, able to check down in the short to intermediate range. He'll be coming out running different routes. Andy Reid will find a way to get him out there. And he's a pretty tough runner. He kind of reminds me of like a slow, smaller MJD. He's like tough. He's short. He's low to the ground. I like him.
Yeah, and I don't think the Chiefs have had like an actual number one running back since Kareem Hunt punched his girlfriend.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so I think when you're the Chiefs at that position, you just won the Super Bowl. You really don't have too many holes. You can kind of just be like, okay,
Yeah.
here you go, Patrick.
The only thing I was kind of surprised about it with, when they signed Mahomes to that $200 million deal, they're going to have no cap space for any other position. So I was thinking, like, if you're going to do that, like, you got to go all in and hit all the important positions right now, because then you have them on the rookie contract for 5 years.
Yeah.
So
That Mahomes deal is going to be crazy.
they're going to have Mahomes and Chris Jones, and they're going to have to just build a team with whoever wants to play with them. Like,
Maybe Chris Jones. Didn't Chris Jones just get franchise tagged this year?
yeah, I saw something saying that their GM definitely wants Chris Jones around long term.
I would want Chris Jones around long term too.
No, he could. He's like we will have Patrick Mahomes and Chris Jones. He was
Yeah.
pretty adamant about it.
Now, Jake, you know what's so special about Chris Jones, right?
Yes, but inform me anyways.
So Chris Jones is a defensive tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs, and when he ran the combine, when he ran his 40, he ran so fast and
Was this
so
the dude whose dick
vigorously
flopped out?
that his penis fell out. And I
I
think,
wish I had that problem.
yeah, I think Austin and I may have seen it live when it happened.
Yeah, I
Hunter and
remember
knew
watching
about-
it.
We knew about Chris Jones before he became the All-Pro Pro Bowler that he is.
Before he popped off, knew about Chris Jones, knew about Jasquiki Tart,
Oh
or
yeah.
Jaquiski Tart, however he decides to pronounce it. Obi Melanwafu, who is now a free agent. All the Combine heroes we knew. And the funny names, Combine heroes, and guys whose wieners fall out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I was
Think
either
about
fast
Frozen
enough or
Rock.
had a big enough wiener to have it fall out.
Yeah. Oh, Jake, like I'm telling you, this thing's like an elephant trunk.
Oh no, yeah, I've seen it plenty of times.
Yeah.
Yeah. He ran the 40 in only compression shorts, so he was kind of asking for it.
Yeah, especially you can't stuff that big of a hog into such tiny shorts.
That's where the problem lies.
But I mean, I guess that kind of concludes the draft coverage. So, Jake, I know you developed a fun little game for us to play.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to figure out, and I, meaning we, gonna try to figure out just some random things that we can do on the episodes, just to kind of spice things up a little bit, I guess. So today we're gonna go through and we're gonna do top 3 actors that we would like to see as football players, whether it's because they could be good or just because we would like to see that in reality. And then on the reverse side, 3 players that we would like to see acting, whether it's TV or movies, whatever, someone that we want to see on the big screen. So the first pick, we can just go to Austin, and then we'll just go Austin, Hunter, me, and keep the train rolling.
Well, with the first pick, I got to go with a heavy hitter. I got to go with a guy with charisma, who's a hoss, who's a fun guy, and his name is Rob Gronkowski. I could just see him being slapped in an Expendables movie next to Terry Crews and Sly Stallone, just with a big old machine gun tearing people down.
Definitely.
You know, I could see Sly Stallone throwing him a grenade and Gronk spiking it down a bunker, killing a bunch of people.
Yeah.
So I think he'd be awesome. He'd be definitely an action movie superstar.
For sure.
He would have trouble getting the lines down, but if you can get Arnold Schwarzenegger in a movie, you can get Gronk.
I don't know, dude. Gronk's like he's doing all the WWE stuff. Like he knows what he's doing.
Running some businesses. He's a smart guy. He's just a bro.
Yeah,
Bro.
So my first player that I think could transition into acting well. Now, I recently changed this, and I only chose this because of a video Austin recently sent me of this person talking about Vontae Davis quitting mid. So I think Tre'Davious White could be a good actor because his story was really, really funny. His just impersonation of Vontae Davis quitting.
That's awesome.
I really like that pick, Hunter.
Thanks.
One of my favorite players.
All right. So for my first player, I'm picking this because of this dude's intensity. I think he could play a good, like, serious role. And, he seems like an intelligent dude. Obviously, lines I don't think would be an issue. But I think Stephon Diggs would be a good, like, intense actor.
Wow.
Buffalo Bills super squad, dude.
Yeah.
Trey White, Diggs.
Well, I think Diggs already has like that charisma just because of that one locker room interview where everybody said they didn't want him banging their girlfriends, or not their girlfriends, but their sisters.
Their sister.
Yeah. He has more of a celebrity vibe than just I'm a football player and just a football player.
Yeah, he would definitely be a better actor than Cole Beasley. I'll tell you that right now.
Cole Beasley's the type of guy that if you saw him in a mall, you wouldn't know if he's a high school kid or an NFL player.
You'd probably think that you were more successful than Cole Beasley just from
Okay.
looking at him.
But you don't know that he's a rapper / football player.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm surprised by your guys' first 2 picks, honestly.
Well, who's your second pick?
Yeah, give us your second, Austin.
Well, I mean, if you guys are gonna leave me a slam dunk like this, I'm gonna have to go with Tom Brady. I mean, he's popular. Everybody loves Tom Brady. The kids love Tom Brady. Everyone hates Tom Brady. The adults hate Tom Brady. And when you have haters, you got lovers. Everybody wants to tune in and just see what's going on there. He's handsome. He played in an Under Armour commercial that I saw one time where he goes up to this guy and he's like, "Hey, where's your golf stuff at?" And the guy's like, "Whoa, sick Boston accent." But Tom Brady didn't have a Boston accent and he got mad. And it just felt so natural that I could really see him acting in big box office films.
Yeah. No, I could see that.
Definitely.
Definitely right about the handsomeness and whatnot. I actually, fun fact, Jimmy Garoppolo was on my list.
Ooh.
Not on my list anymore. Had to make some changes, but I think for similar reasons. Very attractive male, star power, bangs porn stars. Like I feel like he could.
I could see him being on like a Celebrity Big Brother.
Maybe
Or some type of reality show like that.
Maybe if he never wins a Super Bowl in like 25 years.
Not right now. Just no one's doing anything. That's
No.
the pure isolation is Big Brother. Big Brother's been doing it right.
Listen, you can't put 12 people in a house right now. It have to be Big Brother starting at 5.
Damn.
Yeah, it's silly. But number 2, this is a quarterback. I've seen a lot of interviews with him, and he just seems like a real fun-loving guy. And just everything he says is pretty funny. He gives funny answers to interview questions and stuff. So I feel like he could be maybe like you put him next to Will Ferrell in some sort of comedy movie, and I think you got a blockbuster. Jameis Winston.
Okay.
Winston.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to take my next pick. For similar reasons. On top of this dude is pretty fashionable, sometimes a little too much, which I feel like celebrities do.
Too
I'm gonna say Cam Newton. I think he would be a good on-screen talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see it.
Really personable, has crazy high fashion shit. So he seems like he could, be on the next, I don't know, show number 2, that show.
Okay.
So you guys go back-to-back number 1 overall picks who didn't really pan out, and they're kind of, looking for their spots in the NFL right now. So maybe they could transition into acting.
Absolutely.
Jameis has his spot.
He's got a spot. He's got a year contract for $1 million in New Orleans.
Cam's got nothing.
He used that $1 million to produce his own film, writer, director, and star.
Yeah, he could do it. He could have Drew Brees hold the camera.
All Cam has is his babushkas.
It's Bush League talk right now with it. So, with my third pick, I think, I'm going to take J.J. Watt. He's a real, he's a real family-friendly guy, and he's also a big, strong hoss. I could see him as like a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson type because, he just looks like he could get down and dirty in some movies next to Kevin Hart. And, yeah, I definitely see him in that type of role.
I can see a scene where J.J. Watt, for some reason, has to, pick Kevin Hart up and throw him a really far distance.
And Kevin Hart's legs are just flopping.
Yeah.
JJ, stop it, JJ. Yeah, be funny, be hilarious. Everybody loves Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
I can't believe neither of you guys picked this guy. I think most of my lists are descending order. So I think he is number 1 choice, best possible actor out of the NFL. George Kittle. He's already acting on the sidelines. He'll look out for where the camera is and be looking at it and giving it funny faces when nobody else is none the wiser. So
literally just watched a full video of Mic'd Up where he's just chatting up the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
fun dude. It's
I
good.
think,
That's a good pick.
I think George Kittle will be the best actor.
That's a good pick. Damn. All right. So for my number 3, um, I could see being like a good like crime movie maybe as not necessarily like a henchman, but at least like a upper tier crony.
A Mimsy.
Julian Edelman
Oh,
has a little bit of an accent. He's kind of short. You know, he can go bare face or grow the beard, so he has a wide range. He could do some like Lost in the Mountains, Mountain Man movie.
no.
I can see him being one of the guys who fights Tom Cruise in Jack Reacher and just gets his ass kicked.
Absolutely, like a black leather. He's the one riding the crotch rocket with all black, and then he rips it off and has a quick little Duke.
Oh yeah.
I could also see Julian Edelman being like the guy who's in like the all Adidas like jumpsuit or something.
Gold chain on the outside.
Yeah, and he just kind of stands there. He's from like Eastern Europe or something.
Yep.
Yeah. No, great pick.
All right, we'll throw the graphic up for that one. But let's go to the other side of this coin.
Yeah.
What actors would we like to see in the NFL? Austin, go ahead with your first pick. I think we might have similar ones on this list.
Oh, you really think we're gonna have similar ones too?
I think so.
I tried to go unsimilar.
Oh.
So I could choose an obvious guy. You know, I could choose an athlete, someone who's played before, or I could think outside of the box. And for this one, I'm going to choose Craig Robinson. You may know him as DJ Request from the hit film The Goods, Live Hard, Sell Hard.
Nobody tells DJ Request what to play.
In that movie, he's known for denying people requests for his DJ music, but I think he could deny offenses some serious yardage in the NFL.
Wow.
And, I took the liberty of getting with our graphics team and having them Photoshop his face onto William the Fridge's body. And
you know, it looks like an almost damn near perfect match.
I also have this one.
You're playing the angles too?
I really think he would make a great defensive tackle in the National Football League.
Yeah, no, that's a fantastic pick.
So again, these are descending order for me. I think just Tom Cruise, first of all. He's already getting into so much action, and that scene in Mission Impossible 3 when he's like running on that bridge and there's that explosion, he's like, he can take hits. So I feel like you make him like a running back or some sort of safety maybe.
I see him more of like a slot receiver after that description. You know, he's shifty. He's small.
I don't think he's shifty though. Like I want him either hitting people or like taking hits, you know?
Okay.
So that's why I'm saying running back. Like I want him to get in there, dish out the punishment, because he's probably going to be fighting people. Like he's not going to be just playing football. He's going to be tossing some moves out there. Yeah. And then if he's a safety, he can use his intellect to diagnose what's happening and then get there and make the play.
Yeah. He can call on Lord Zeno from his Scientology to give him the power and know what the plays are.
Yeah, but that was my easy one. That was my low-hanging fruit.
You know, actually, he wasn't even on my list. Completely skipped my mind. But I'm going to go for the lowest of the low-hanging fruit.
DRJ?
Absolutely. From movies like Fast 4, Fast 5,
Journey to the Center of the Earth 2,
6, Furious 7, Hobbs and Shaw,
The Tooth Fairy,
Jungle Cruise, Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, Jumanji: The Next Level.
Who could this possibly be?
And I'm probably missing about 50 other movies.
Probably more than that. You forgot Skyscraper.
Skyscraper. Who knows what else? WWF superstar. Owner of a tequila company now. Uh, what else? Could be the president one day. Who knows? But that's Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Absolutely. He played Division I football. He's Baywatch. Immaculate shape. Probably the most in shape dude that I could think of out of anybody in the world.
Yeah, we all know him. We all love him.
Yeah. But if you didn't, those are some of his movies. You can look it up. They're everywhere. All right, Austin, your number 2 pick.
Well, since I kind of blew my wad with Craig Robinson, I'm going to choose a pretty easy one, just like Jake did. I'm going to go with, there's scary Terry McLaurin in the NFL. Well, I'm going to go with terrifying Terry Crews.
Absolutely.
He's a big hoss. He's not as popular as Dwayne The Rock Johnson, but he's jacked. He's an action star. And, he's definitely played some football back in his day. I believe he was in the NFL on like a practice squad or something. So Terry Crews, he's going to be laying the lumber in the NFL.
I like that a lot. So, Jake, since this is your game, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do they have to be a player or could they be like a coach?
I'll allow it.
Okay, cool. So then for my second pick, I'm going to scratch off who was originally going to be the second pick, who is Keanu Reeves. I feel like that's, again, too low hanging. So
I think he's too skinny.
With this, no, he could be a quarterback. He played a quarterback in a movie.
True, yeah. What is
Varsity Blues? I don't know.
No, Third Placements.
Yeah, but he's John Wick. Like, if he's a quarterback, he could just throw a ball at a guy's head and kill him, and then it would land in the receiver's hands. But if you're going to let me do this switch, I'm going to choose someone who will take a coaching position, and that person is John Malkovich. Because I feel like John Malkovich is the kind of guy who thinks outside of the box.
Way outside the box.
He's always doing vastly different projects. Like, when you face the John Malkovich team, you're never going to know what's going to come at you. You're always going to be on your toes. Half of the time, you're going to be thinking, this is weird. I don't want to be doing this. And I think he's just going to revolutionize coaching.
You don't even have to watch film. There's no point.
No, not at all.
Don't even practice, honestly. Just show up and hope for the best.
No tendencies. All you have to do is watch The Man in the Iron Mask.
All-star film. All-star film.
One of the greatest films of all time.
I'm gonna pick my next. It's not even that I'm picking that I do I want to pick low-hanging fruit. Do I want to go for? I only have low-hanging fruit. Like, these are all right down the lane that anybody would pick. So I'm gonna go with the only role that people know this large individual from is the there it is, all-star movie, Man in the Iron Mask.
Hunter's got the blue
young Leo DiCaprio as well.
Heck.
With 2 young Leo DiCaprios.
2 of them.
But I'm going to pick the Mountain, half-Thor Julius Bronson.
Oh, wow.
Bjornsson. Icelandic giant.
I think that's a good pick.
He's just such a massive individual. My only fear would be just his motor, because being that big, he has to be eating like 8 meals a day. So, but I'm gonna pick him. Maybe even just put him at center, right in the dead middle, or nose, or all-time blitzing middle linebacker. I don't know.
Okay.
Wow. Well, I'm kind of out of picks at this point, so I'm just going to go offhand. And, I was going to choose Robert Downey Jr. from Tropic Thunder.
His most popular role, Tropic Thunder. But
I decided to go with his co-star, Jack Black. Jack Black's just a versatile actor, and I feel like he would make a great...
Well, I'm sure all of you viewers can see that we are in different outfits and there's one less of us. We were in the midst of our actors who should be football players activity, and some technical difficulties happened. Imported the video and wasn't there, but that's okay. We were about done. I believe Austin was just telling us that his final choice was possibly going to be Robert Downey Jr., but instead it was his Tropic Thunder co-star Jack Black, because he would be a good center, something like that.
Yeah. He had a good feeling that Jack Black would be a good down and dirty dude in the trenches. And, I agree with him. And I also think he'd be a pretty good locker room guy, really get the morale. He's a lively dude. So,
Yeah. Sing some songs.
Solid pick.
Yeah. So am I next or are you next?
You are next, yes.
Okay. So my third and final pick, because you guys didn't get to hear it, was another kind of surprise pick, but a good one, I think. My final pick of an actor who would be a great football player is whoever played Hurley on Lost, because that dude is just big. He is like just a massive hunk of man, and I think he's just a road grader. Pop him in, he's moving guys around at will, doing whatever. And same thing with Jack Black. Nice guy. Everybody in the locker room is going to enjoy his presence. He's going to have a good time. There's probably always going to be snacks around.
Definitely. I think, if they're down in a tough spot and, if they have to really change the flow of the game, I think Hurley might have a nice, endearing but, rowdy speech to get everyone going together, and then they go out there and fuck shit up.
Absolutely.
I couldn't agree more with that one. And with my third pick, I had to go with, from movies like The Other Guys, Pain and Gain, Invincible. I'm sure he's in some type of Boston fighting movie.
Yeah.
And all those other 20 Boston characters that he played, it's Mark Wahlberg. Exactly. I think maybe Four Brothers. That's one he's in, I'm pretty sure. But either way, he's been known to be a pretty in shape dude since he pretty much came into his celebrity status. I think he'd be a solid maybe like a Julian Edelman type, like a shorter dude, quick, athletic, aggressive. I don't think he'd be afraid to cut through the middle because he seems like a rough and tumble guy. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Mark Wahlberg as my third pick. We'll throw up the graphic, help everyone out to remember those. But yeah, so we're going to try to do a segment kind of like this, obviously with a little less technical difficulties, but we're going to do something like this to kind of spice things up a little bit and, just get some off the wall thoughts going and keep things fun. But big news coming up, Hunter, if you want to unleash the snacks.
I do want to unleash these big snacks. So, here at Bro Football Focus, after this podcast hopefully goes up in complete form and launches, we will be putting out our first bracket. And the first inaugural bracket is going to be the biggest nasty bracket. And what this bracket is we're going to take one big nasty from every team. So 32 big nasties, put them up against each other, see who comes out on top. Now, you folks at home asking yourselves, what's a big nasty? Well, pretty simple. A big nasty is someone more than likely on the offensive or defensive line. Doesn't have to be, though. Not a necessity, but more than likely that's where they are. They're probably going to be over 300 pounds, and they don't even necessarily have to be great at the game of football. They're just big. They're intimidating. You know that they probably smell bad. You wouldn't want to sit next to this guy on an airplane. But in the trenches, that same fear, that stigma of you seeing that guy, oh, no, please don't sit next to me. Don't sit next to me. You don't want to see that guy across from you on the line either. You know he's just going to cake you, or you're going to smell him or something. But we're going to figure out who the biggest nasty is.
And hopefully we can get a big nasty himself to help us as a guest unveil the full bracket of the Big Nasties, and that's a special guest. I think y'all are gonna enjoy it. But yeah, so thanks again for tuning in to this the second episode. We got some great things coming up. Again, graphics are going to be popping off left and right. So the more that we can get up, because we know people like visual things, so the more that we can get up, the better. But Hunter, anything else for the fans? The now Die Hard, and we have proven that we care about the fans. We didn't want to just let it fade to black and say, "Oh, sorry, things happen." We saddled back up, and we got the job done.
Two of us saddled back up and got the job done.
But we got the job done.
Yeah, we did. No, closing words. Just thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. A little maybe sneak preview for the guest. I want you guys to keep this in mind. Believe it or not, our guest, if we can get him, is going to be Jake's biological brother. Now, like I said, believe it or not, but next week when you watch the show, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
It's going to be a doozy.
Yeah.
Stay tuned on YouTube, obviously. Hit the subscribe if you want to. Hit us with the follows. Instagram, our handle is at Bro Football Focus. That's it?
Yeah, Instagram, it's just Bro Football Focus. Very easy.
Focus.
You can find us. Twitter, it's the same thing, just with one L.
Yeah, so it's Bro Football Focus due to the length issues. We tried contacting Twitter to maybe change that one character more than it is now, but we didn't get any. They probably aren't working right now. It's these trying times. But yeah, hit us with the follows. We're gonna be cutting our videos up into clips possibly to give you just that short hit of BFF that you need to get you through the week.
Hot BFF injection.
Yeah, straight to the veins. Get you real high, get you through the workday. Exactly. So so yeah, I think all in all, good show. But next one will always be better.
Yeah.